I'll take my points for that. By the way, hello, Josh. Hello. You Monday off, you motherfucker, you? Thanksgiving Monday? That's not a thing. Get back to work. I was sick of the whole internet being broken Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Get your damn IT professionals back to work and stop pushing updates the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, okay? You're just asking for trouble. And Josh, can you take something up with your politicians? Did you see that video of the lady at Target and the price tag says it's $649 and then she slides a yellow price tag on top of it that says Black Friday special, $649? They really think we're stupid out there, guy who will believe anything he sees on social media with no context. They really think we're stupid. That being said, can I say something? I support Target's right to do that. Because if you're the kind of person who sees something they don't need, but buys it because it's 20% off, you deserve to pay the price that you were going to pay. It's P.T. Barnum. A sucker is born every minute. Hi, Tomo. It's illegal? Good. Then arrest them. Otherwise, enjoy your full-price Breville juicer. Did you see the streaker on Small World? Dude, I know I say this as somebody who's been to Disney properties many times and will go again. First off, let's be honest, that guy was not a streaker. He did not strip naked for attention. That person was having a hallucinogenic, drug-induced trip. He was baptizing himself in like the Taj Mahal pool on It's a Small World after all. He was just standing motionless next to the puppets and stuff like that. He was freaking out. Like inside, he was like, ah! But outwardly, he was just like... But then my favorite part of it was all the replies that were like, Big Brother facepalm gif, how to get banned from Disney properties for life. Lady, you think this guy cares about getting banned from Disney properties for life? He's seeing God right now. He's having tea with the devil. And you're like, he's never going to be able to go to Tokyo Disney Sea now. You and him aren't living in the same reality. This guy's brain just got exploded. He is not concerned about like, I'm not saying he's more enlightened. I'm just saying he's got bigger problems. But like Disney adults will see a dude going through a psychic breakdown and be like, well, he's never going to be able to get on a Disney cruise. He's in hell right now. He got dragged to hell like Alison Lohman. I can't even open the gram anymore. It's all thirst traps. I don't know where that came from, but that's very funny. You know what's crazy to me is the OnlyFans bot network on Twitter now, where like no matter what a tweet is, like it could be about like Ridley Scott responds to criticism of his new film Napoleon. The top comment is always like the same account that's like, I dated Ridley in high school. He was mid, to be honest. No, you didn't. Anastasia, you're not a real, you're a damn robot. Scientists at NASA have discovered a new supernova located in the Betelgeuse galaxy. My hole is bigger, for real. No, it isn't. This is 3,500 light years across, Anastasia. It's a trillion times larger than Earth. It doesn't even make any sense. And then it's in every single reply to every single viral tweet. iwaspoisoned.com. Burger King, Aimer, Rajasthan, India. I ordered food from Burger King and they sent me burnt and bad smelling food, and after eating that I had vomit. How did you find that so fast? That's actually troubling. Also, if you click on Librarian's link there, can you tell me what we're looking at here? Like a textured vegetable protein patty, but it also has like a little bit of a Dorito on top of it or something. I don't know what's going on there. It's a pretty cursed image. I was reading a lot of iwaspoisoned.com this weekend for reasons. Thought there was this dude, the one from Ontario was so good. Ben and Jerry, Tonight's Dough, Real Canadian Superstore, Parkdale Avenue, Brockville, Ontario, Canada. I only ate maybe a quarter, but was looking for the cookie dough pieces. Only found the peanut butter ones, and it tasted really wrong, but I kept looking for cookie. Who among us has not found themselves in that circumstance? It tasted really wrong, but I kept looking for cookie. I felt sick and gave up immediately and soon went to bed. Next morning, 7 a.m., horrible stomach pain. I was curled up the entire day, puking every 30 minutes to an hour, nauseous, no ability to drink, no effort to eat. Puking eased up around 9 p.m., slow moving, managed to eat once that night, little sips all day, mostly burps, no pukes. Next morning, stomach pain, coughing right onto the edge until I puked. Now, fourth morning, I'm still slightly nauseous, feels like I might have one more puke later. Oh, man. The expression is so good. I only ate maybe one quarter, but was looking for cookie dough pieces, only found peanut butter ones, and it tasted really wrong, but I kept looking for cookie. Or did you see this one too? This one's so good. Taco Bell, Newport Beach, California. Suspected source, Mexican pizza and 2 Taco Bell Supremes. I doubled over at work and had to lay down on the ground. I had to call someone to come pick me up because I couldn't drive. Once I got home, I rested for 2 hours and had scary diarrhea. But then the pictures that they included, they licked the shit clean, bro. Like the box doesn't even have any sauce left in it. The boxes are completely empty and like you could reuse them and give them to the next customer. I know we've been through this before. The one that always gets me, man, is like Wendy's raw chicken sandwich. They're like, Wendy's served me a raw chicken sandwich and then they ate like 80% of it. How does that happen? Just stop eating. If I bit into raw, I know I'm not the guy who's great at avoiding food poisoning. I'm just saying. If I knew the chicken was raw, I would have stopped eating it. Listen, VIP Daniel, it's because I respect you that I'm going to click on Say Business, okay? Oh, I've seen this one!
Tomate, patate, clémentine, c'est le business. C'est le business. C'est le business. C'est le business. Viande pâte, mec. Viande pâte, mec. Oh! Bougez de là, putain de merde.
There's just something about French, huh? Because it has heavy, like, Pennywise versus Joker energy for a number of reasons, but one of them is definitely that it's French. C'est business. I do love when he's rolling. I was so sick this weekend, I watched an entire 2.5 minute long video of a man doing landscaping, which is something that I have not done in my entire life. I found myself on Reddit, and it was like r/oddly satisfying. It was SB mowing, yes. It was like, man does insane amount of lawn work for somebody. The guy goes like up to the door and knocks on the door and is like, hey, I run a YouTube channel where I like to edge up people's sidewalks and take care of their stuff. It looks a little overgrown here. Do you mind if I do it for you? And I watched, he worked on it for like the whole day. Cleaned up the lawn. It looks super nice. I was like, man, this guy's amazing.
You want to come see what it looks like?
Sure.
I didn't think it'd take me that long, but
I was like, man, I still hear him. I don't think he had any idea this would be this hard. All right.
have a good one.
Fantastic job.
Thank you.
All the top comments, wow, that lady really seemed ungrateful for the amount of labor that the dude put in. I mean, I was pretty unsatisfied with how grateful she was for the labor that the dude put. Can you just be normal, bro? What's wrong with you? The dude put in 16 hours of labor for the Vine and for the love of the game. And then people were like, I hate the person that he did a favor for. Just relax. If someone came to my house and was like, can I do a favor for you? My ass would be a little hesitant too. I would be a little confused. That's like something that doesn't happen all that often. People got to relax a little bit on the internet, man. My ass would say no, thank you. I would also say no thank you, but not because I'm scared. I would say no thank you because he's stealing my yard work from me, and I get a weird Protestant sense of purpose from doing it myself. I'd be like, you're not stealing my dopamine. SB mowing. That shit gets me out of the house. I'm so fucked up when I saw the video. I was like, man, I should start a landscaping company. No, the fuck I shouldn't. What are you talking about? You start a landscaping company. If I ever did that shit for a stranger and they weren't thankful enough, my ass would be selling the truck the next day. I'd be like, no shot. I'd be like, man, fuck you. Dickhead doctor. I did all this landscaping for you. You can't even give me some fish medicine. Piece of crap. I also realized, you know what is true about the internet? Or at least true for a subset of the internet? I'll tell you what illuminated this for me, and we'll spin a little yarn here. There was a tweet that went viral, and then it went viral on Echo. The tweet was, and I'm paraphrasing, I know Librarian's going to have it good to go, like immediately. What is Echo? Well, like sometimes things go viral, and then the quote tweet of them goes viral as well. So it goes viral on its own merits, and then it goes viral as a dunk. You know, it's like when you get an N1 in basketball. Like it scores, but then also there was a foul. Anyway, it was a top-down image of a service dog that said, it was basically like a situation that may or may not have actually happened. 3-year-old walked up to my service dog. I body blocked the child and said, how about we don't walk up to strange animals that we don't know? And then the mom said, he's 3. And then blah, blah, blah. Like this self-righteousness, which maybe was misplaced or maybe was well-placed, depending on your perspective. Then that got quote tweeted by people that were like, why are people so weird about kids? Which my bias is that there is a lot of that online, but it's kind of like unrelated to the story. You've found it completely. Go, if you want to hate yourself, go read 100 replies to the original tweet. It is people arguing, 3 years old is old enough to know not to touch. I have 22 kids, and all of my kids know that they shouldn't. You're right. No kid should ever touch a dog. You should do something bad to yourself because kids are impulsive. I'm gonna give you a soothing balm. None of these people have been outside in 150 years. These are not real people. We can save ourselves. They're lost. We can save ourselves. This is a situation in 1991. If a 3-year-old walked up to a dog and the owner said, please don't come close to my dog. I don't want him to bite you. That's the end of the story. The end. It's the kind of thing that if you lived in a city, could have happened to you 3 times a month or something like that. Nowadays, a bunch of people who never go outside who are learning about what the outside world is like as if gazing out of a periscope at a deep ocean environment that they will die if they're exposed to, are giving their observations about like what the perfect interaction would look like. But it's like a Plato's myth of the cave. You're only seeing the shadows from the light. You weren't there to begin with in the first place. This is just, when normal people have this situation, you just say, hey, sorry, my kid walked over to your dog, or hey, that's okay, my dog's friendly or he's not friendly, my bad. You know, it just happens. 10 times a day, you got nothing to worry about. Online, it gets blown up into this, like, people were like genuinely like, that mom is a bad parent. You don't know what the hell's going on. Then people were like, the lady with the dog is a bad dog owner. Like, you don't know what it's like, man. Have some empathy for both parties here. These people are just on their walk to the damn grocery store. People are out here, you know, just maybe they got a call that like their family member's in the hospital. They're distracted going down to the parking garage in an elevator. Everyone just really, you're putting too much hyper focus on all these little minute social interactions, man. And then the people that were involved in it having opinions is normal. But then like some dude in Ohio is reading this and I'm like, buddy, they don't even have elevators where you live. And you're out here writing like an essay about the way that I would have responded to this is, The world's out there, man. Just walk out the front door. You can experience all sorts of microaggressions like this every single day. You can put your perfect wisdom into practice every single time you walk into a new establishment. You got nothing to worry about. Just go live your life, man. This is great. You can't let it weigh on your psyche like this. Now, do I think that, for me personally, was she being a little passive-aggressive to a 3-year-old? Yes. But in her defense, that is also kind of funny. Like, talking to a 3-year-old as if they're like the bad guy in a Marvel film is very funny. Especially because they won't get it. Because they're too old to watch Marvel films. Holy cow. The +2s. He might not have a good understanding of the Canadian medical system. But he understands how to say we should be nice to people, but then also slipping in a couple of owns at the end. I walked myself back like one level of abstraction when I saw all the discussion related to this stuff. And I was like, man, you don't realize how many situations I could exaggerate every single day on Twitter just to cause like 100,000 people to have a horrible night for no reason, even though they weren't there. I was going to move left to not bump into somebody, but then they moved to their right so that we would keep walking and bump into each other. It's so stupid. Everybody should just move to the... Did you know? Well, I grew up in Ohio. In Ohio, we moved to the right instead. No, you should never move to the right. That's just how they do it. Just relax, man. Someone in chat said, that's what a spouse is for, not Twitter. That's the thing, man. This is what has happened to the consequence of the destruction of the modern family. And I'm not talking about the TV show. You used to get together at dinner time and you would say shit that only you get mad about to your spouse. And legally, they have to go, no, you're right. Society's wrong. And then that would dissolve the entire situation. Now it becomes like a national media event because there's no safe outlet for these kind of insane discussions. You should get married now. Don't you think that marriage is kind of an outdated institute? This is shit you should tell your spouse. This ain't shit for me. This ain't shit for Twitter. You get married and then give your opinions on marriage to your spouse, where they trap it inside of an obsidian box and it never leaks out. And society's better as a result. Same thing about people who tell other people about their dreams. No, that's damn true. If you have not had a child with my DNA, or alternatively given birth to me, do not tell me about your dream. I don't want to hear it. I don't care if we've been best friends for 10 years. That's the thing about dreams, is because of the fucked up morphology of the human brain, they have emotional significance to you because you experience them firsthand. But when you start explaining it to another person, they're not experiencing it the same way you did. They're just going, whoa, until the end. Now, you could do that for your spouse. That's the damn law, okay? But if my dad starts telling me about a dream he had, brother, are you okay? My mom, I'll cut her a little bit of slack. She carried me for 40 weeks, you know? My dad, though, and then all my teeth fell out. And I showed up at work and I wasn't wearing any pants. I know, Dad. I know. Men can't talk to each other. Who are you, the librarian? That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, don't tell me about your dreams unless you're my spouse. Or if I'm like a dream fucking dude. I don't know really what that means. Well, you know, if I get paid to hear about your dreams, I wouldn't be like, don't tell me about your dreams. It's bad for business. A therapist? I don't really know. Is a therapist like a dream person? I don't think so. I think if I went to my therapist and I started telling them about the dreams that I have, they would be like, we're here to talk about like real stuff. I'm projecting onto my therapist, but like, I think my therapist is kind of good. So I think she would tell me, you know, we only got 42 minutes left on the clock. You sure you want to spend $172 on this dream shit? I get it. Your teeth fell out. I get it. You showed up for the class and you thought it was just a lecture, but actually it was the final exam and you haven't studied. But like, you got some real shit to work through. You sure you want to do that? It's your money. You notice that the dude who was streaking at It's a Small World looked a little bit like Daniel Radcliffe in the Weird Al movie? Okay, I'm back. I got brain worms from the service dog post. You missed sorry, that's my fault. You missed the part where I said you have to remember that the thousands of people that are all dissecting the social interaction are not real people. They're real in the sense that they're made of flesh and carbon and they consume resources and produce waste the same way any of us do. They're not real in the sense that you would ever observe them in an environment. They're unobservable. They're like the Higgs boson, okay? You would need like a new piece of machinery in order to ever have them impact the environment that you're in. The only way that they can affect you is if you invite them into your house vampire style by reading the insane responses to that thread. Do you guys know about the Japanese writer Mishima? Did you know? I saw that tweet too. Dude, I didn't know that he was one of the most celebrated writers of the 20th century and then got on stage to try to encourage a military coup in 1970 to have the Japanese military reinstate imperial rule in Japan. And the soldiers booed him so mercilessly that he committed seppuku in the room that was adjoining the balcony. Riz so bad he blanked himself, but for real, they literally heckled his ass to death. I was also, this is not funny really, but it is kind of remarkable, I guess. I also read, because as soon as I saw that on Twitter, I was like, I got to check out this motherfucker's Wikipedia article. So he knew he was going to commit seppuku. When you commit seppuku, apparently, I don't want to sound like an expert, you need a second. Not like an increment of time, but you need somebody to chop off your heads to save you from pain after you disembowel yourself. But the dude who was his second was incapable of chopping his head off in 3 swipes. So this motherfucker needed a third. But you know that it's already fucked up. I can't imagine like being like dying and then almost having your head chopped off and then being like, could you just give it to the other guy? Like, come on, guys, come on. Like, that's not the way I want to go. But then secondly, before the dude committed seppuku, he was also like, I'm going to do it. Nobody else do it. And then his second was like, I'm going to do it. Nobody should ever die alone. And then he was like, please don't do it. So then after the first dude's head got chopped off, the other dude committed seppuku, so immediately invalidated the first dude's wishes. And then the dude who was the backup second for the dude who's now committing seppuku had to chop that motherfucker's head off too. That dude just showed up to like give them the air of having a crowd around them, and all of a sudden he had to cut off 2 motherfuckers' heads. He didn't sign up for that. Hey bro, can you show up to our rally tomorrow? We just want to make it look like we got a lot of people who agree with us. Okay, but I'm not really going to do anything. That's fine, don't worry about it. By the way, bring your sword. Like it's, that being said, if I was the second and the dude was like, I'm going to commit seppuku, nobody else do it, I would be like, yes! Fuck yes, thank dude. You had no idea. I was so nervous about this. I was like, I couldn't sleep last night. It's like when you haven't studied for a test and then your teacher says like, you get a substitute teacher the next day and they're like, oh, the test is going to come tomorrow instead. You're like, oh, I'm saved. And then your dumb ass doesn't study the next night either. Because you're like, if they're sick on that day, they'll probably be sick on the next day. But then they're back the next day. And you're like, what the fuck? How did you do that? No. Don't start the singing, then you can't stop. So true. When you were young, you were the king of Austin Powers. And now you kidnap Nigel Powers as his foe to get the man of mystery to show. This is the room one afternoon where Fat Bastard ate you. And how Felicity shagged him real well to place a homing device where no one dared to dwell.